Good evening. We are breaking into coverage very quickly. In fact, there is a tornado warning in effect for northern Oneida County. Let's take a look at the radar right now and see exactly what areas are currently being affected. We zoom in right here. There is a line of some gusty winds. However, there's some weak rotation just near Ava as well as heading towards Boonville. I put the velocity scan on this. You can see just some minor rotation right here. It's not very strong. So the good news is there is no immediate threat. This tornado is not confirmed, just radar indicated. However, you can see it's just some slight rotation right here on this line. Now, this current path right now, if we put a storm track on this is currently heading towards the northeast right now. So this is the direction of Hawkinsville as well as Woodgate. And just a heads up right now that we're doing live coverage until this tornado warning is over. We're just keeping an eye on it, this line right now. So the current issue we're dealing right now is just some gusty winds. However, there is some weak rotation possible. There is winds capable of producing a tornado located 7 miles southwest of Boonville, and this moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So if you are in this path, there is still no immediate danger, but still, if you are in the tornado warning, just a reminder, if I go to reminders, you can see exactly, make sure if you want to get to a basement, get center of a home at the lowest floor, you want to make sure you stay away from windows. So it's in effect once again until 3 p.m. And just joining us right now, there is a tornado warning in effect for northern Oneida County. This is until 3 p.m. and right now there is still no noticeable rotation as we speak. However, as you can see, if you put a loop on this, you can see just some slight rotation developing right here on this spot, right heading towards Boonville. Boonville is the current area of the highest risk of seeing this tornado, but once again, this tornado is not confirmed, radar indicated. The biggest concern right now, at least current conditions, is gusty winds as well as heavy rain. As you look ahead towards the storm track, if we put a storm track on this will be heading in this direction towards the northeast. So it'll be Boonsville, 241, 246, Hawkinsville, and 259. This will be heading towards Woodgate, and hopefully it will be looking to weaken. Forestport is not out of the picture. However, the current trend of this track is moving towards the northeast as this system continues to move towards the north. Zooming out a little bit, we can see that not everyone is affected by this. We can see that most of the area is just seeing maybe some light sprinkles as well as maybe some gusty winds. The biggest concern right now is just for north central as well as northern Oneida County. As you can see, Otsego County seeing some light sprinkles, as well as Herkimer County still seeing some light sprinkles as well. Now, this line also to the north could be producing tornado probable winds. This is for the line heading just through Lowville, heading through West Turin. This could be heading towards Old Forge as well, but just keeping an eye on this tornado warning right here. Once again, if you're just joining us right now, this is in effect until 3 p.m. so far in the current track of this, putting the rotation of the velocity scan on this, you can see just some weak rotation right here. If you can notice it, the reds and greens next to each other when they start moving in a circular pattern indicate radar indicated tornado. This is not confirmed once again, but if you are in the path of this will be moving towards the Boonville area as well as Hawkinsville and out further west towards Woodgate. And this is a warning once again in effect until 3 p.m. So if you are in this track, make sure you find a way to stay away from windows. Get to a basement if you're lowest level. If you don't have a basement, any interior room that is nowhere near windows or the interior part of a house. And once again, make sure you stay away from areas like doors or windows because they could shatter due to some gusty winds. Now, right now, as we speak, there is no significant rotation, but this is a tornado warning, which is in effect until 3 p.m. So this does mean that there is a chance of a tornado strengthening right now. And we're still keeping an eye on this as we speak. Once again, we put a storm track on this. We can see it moving just towards the northeast right now, towards Boonville around the 2:40 to 2:45 p.m. Hawkinsville 2:46 and Woodgate at 2:58 p.m. for today. Now, right now, the current conditions, we're just keeping an eye on the latest info. This severe thunderstorm warning is producing just located over Boonville, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So this is moving somewhat slowly, but still this is producing gusty winds right now as we speak. Wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. This is mainly just for the line of winds just to to the west of Boonville right now, and the current path, as you can see, is heading directly towards the path of Boonville. We put a velocity scan, as we can see, just some weak rotation. I put a wind thing, as you can see exactly just how much is moving fast. It's actually moving at 40 miles an hour right now, and we can see this path moving just towards Boonville and Hawkinsville right now. And zooming out a little bit, if you're just joining us, the bigger picture, not everyone in the viewing area is currently being affected by this. Just some light sprinkles right now in Otsego County as well as Herkimer County. The biggest concern is if you are in the northern Oneida County area, is specifically the Boonville as well as Hawkinsville and Woodgate. Just a heads up if you are in this area, and we will provide more additional coverage as we head into the next several minutes. We will be right back.
Actually, we're going to work together here. This is Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardas here, alongside Meteorologist Eric Gage. We are going to continue to provide you coverage with this tornado warning that we're seeing across Oneida County. We have rotation, as Eric's been mentioning, in the Boonville area, and we just want folks to know that even though we don't have a tornado that's confirmed, we just want to let you know that we need to take this seriously. And there's things that you want to do in a situation like this. You want to get into the basement. If you live in this area, if you live out towards Boonville or Woodgate and Forestport, you want to get into a shelter. Just if you don't have a basement, the center of your home is a good place to be. You want to be on the lowest floor, and you want to stay away from windows. So even though we don't know if one is on the ground or not, we have to take this seriously, because a lot of the times we don't know until after this happens. We're looking at Doppler indicated rotation over Boonville. And actually, I'll have Eric go back a few images here. Let's see how this is trending. Because when we watch this rotation, it does look like it's still there. There's a few things that we're going to look at here to get more of a bigger picture and to get some more information. So we're going to see if there's any, this is called debris tracker on the Doppler radar. We used this during the Westernville tornado, and we spotted debris from that. But at the moment, not really seeing anything here as well. We're going to continue to keep tabs on this, and we just want to let you know that this warning is in effect until 3 o'clock. So we're going to stay on television until the danger is over. And again, meteorologist Eric Gage is along with me, and in fact, he's going to be able to go ahead and step on the green screen for you and show you what's going on. So I'll let Eric take it over for a few minutes, and then we'll work together on this. So go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, so right now the current path of this tornado possible rotation is directly over Boonville right now. As you can see, this is the area of the storm, Boonville. It's heading up towards the northeast. The concern of the area that's being affected is Hawkinsville at 244 and at 257 Woodgate. Now, right now, as you just said, this is not confirmed. However, there is a possibility of a rotation developing with this line of storms. The biggest risk right now is currently gusty winds. And as you said before, the tornado warning is in effect till 3 p.m. We were going to stay on the air with the wall-to-wall coverage until this warning is over with. And as I said before, the good news is there is no immediate concern as far as confirmed tornado right now, but still you want to prepare for this, as this is a confirmed tornado. So just keeping an eye on the storms right now. As you can see, Bill, if you want to go to rotation real quick so we can see the current rotation on this. Currently right now, there is no significant rotation. Usually we want to keep an eye out for some very bright reds and greens. And as you can see, there's not very significant bright reds and greens, specifically over Boonville area, but still just some light rotation enough to warrant a tornado warning right now. So currently with the debris signature, we're not seeing a confirmed tornado, but just a heads up, if you are just towards the northeast of the Boonville area, heading towards the Hawkinsville as well as Woodgate area, make sure you find a way to get inside, seek shelter, stay away from windows, go to a basement if you have to, and if you do not have a basement, make sure you find a place that is in the interior of your home that does not have any windows. Now, currently, the trend right now is Forestport is just south of the area. It's still in the warning, but the biggest concern right now is just for the Boonville, Hawkinsville, as well as Woodgate area. You can see the general area of this warning. You can see Forestport is included as well, heading towards Hawkinsville Road, road just over towards the north, Route 28. But the biggest concern right now is just a possibility of a tornado developing. This is because of some minor rotations, well, some gusty winds right now. And as well, if you want to zoom out a little bit, so we can see the overall area. Pretty much the entire viewing area, we can see that not everyone is affected by this. If you are tuning in, if you're not in the northern Oneida County area, there is good news. There is not a severe thunderstorm warning for areas in Herkimer as well as Otsego County right now. In fact, a new warning just showed up right there. If you can keep an eye on what that is right now. But still, the current conditions is a tornado warning, and this is for just east of Boonville and heading out towards the west, and then heading out towards the east, towards the Woodgate area and Hawkinsville area.
And Eric, I'm going to jump in here. You just mentioned that warning that just popped up here. The Weather Service issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for this line. What they mentioned here is there's some rotation as well in that southern part of the line. So there's a few things that we have to keep an eye on here. And with this sort of setup, again, there's the possibility of a tornado, a brief spin-up tornado here. So Two areas to watch: severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service for this portion of Oneida County. Again, the possibility of a rotation here. So here's some locations that I wanted to mention. Forestport is in the severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning has now come to an end for Boonville, but it's still in effect for Woodgate. So those of you that live in Woodgate, you want to seek shelter and stay in your sheltered spot for the next 15 minutes or so. This warning will expire at 3 o'clock. Again, continuing to watch a line of rotating storms that has developed across Oneida County. The potential of a tornado exists still. This is why we're on television, letting you know that there is the potential of a spin-up tornado here. And we're continuing to monitor this line as it continues to approach the area. So we'll give you the storm track here heading towards Woodgate at 2:57. Again, tracking a rotating storm. And just as a reminder, there's a variety of different reasons why tornado warnings are issued. And when there is a tornado warning, these are the things that you want to do. You want to get into the basement, the center of your home, the lowest floor if you don't have a basement, and you want to stay away from windows. There's different reasons why tornado warnings are issued. This one is Doppler indicated rotation. Sometimes we can see debris that can be detected from this. That's not the case here. And also a visual confirmation, which is pretty hard to do around here. There's often a lot of obstructions, trees, hills in the way for that. This is issued for the possibility of a tornado with the rotation. But also I wanted to mention too, the expansion of the warning to the south here. So this line is producing these small areas of rotation, and there's still the possibility of some damaging winds towards Forestport. This is along Route 12, the 1228 junction, this area under a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we're going to continue to follow this here as we head into the next couple of minutes. Again, we're going to stay on television for the next 15 minutes, or if the warning is dropped. So we're going to send things back over to meteorologist Eric Gage here for some of the latest.
Yeah, so right now we're just keeping an eye on it. If you actually want to go to the rotation, the velocity scans, exactly what we're looking at right now. This is how we determine where tornadoes are going to be. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see just some weak rotation. You can see this just light rotation right here, this green and this red. This is what we keep an eye out for in terms of tornadoes. And currently right now, there is not a bright orange or bright red and green contrast right now. That's what we're keeping an eye out for. So the good news is go to the correlation. We can see exactly if there's any debris in the area. Now, as you can see, there is currently no debris, at least currently right now. So we are keeping an eye on this tornado warning. And as you can see, there's looking at mostly calm conditions right now, especially in other areas just outside of this tornado warning. However, we are in the just out towards the east, outside of Boonsville. This is heading towards Woodgate as well. Hawkinsville is in this warning. As you saw before, Forestport is currently outside of this warning and now in is a severe thunderstorm warning. If you are in Forestport, you are currently in the clear at the moment for this warning. We're just keeping an eye on this storm trend right now. This is continuing to move out towards the northeast. And once again, we do keep an eye on the rotation. That's the biggest concern. This line itself is still producing gusty winds upwards of 60 miles an hour. So regardless regardless of whether it's in rotation or not, this still could produce some very gusty winds as well as locally heavy rainfall. But we're just keeping an eye on this exact section right here between Hawkinsville as well as Woodgate. Some areas just towards the south as well as Forestport. So you can zoom out a little bit, you can see exactly what, actually almost all the area is still covered by a warning. Does that go up to Herkimer if we zoom out a little bit, a little more?
That's right on the line.
Right in the
So it
line?
doesn't
Okay,
quite
yes.
go to
Okay, yes.
Herkimer.
So 04, just the Herkimer County area is still not in this warning. However, this line of storms is heading towards Herkimer County right now. But you can see right here a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for just all the way up towards the north and heading down towards the south. But the biggest concern right now is this little area just east of Boonville, and this is once again heading northeast. So if you are in the path of the storm, mainly Hawkinsville as well as I can zoom a little bit to see exactly what areas are currently in this warning. We can see that Woodgate as well as Hawkinsville. If you are in this area, make sure you want to shelter in place. Stay away from windows. Either go into a basement. If you do not have a basement, make sure you find a place that is well inside your home and has no windows on the outside of the rooms right now. Just keep an eye on this current storm. And as you can see, most of the rest of our viewing area is currently in the clear right now, but still just it's this single area just in between Boonville as well as Woodgate.
Eric, I just wanted to mention something that I know we interrupted coverage on the January 6th hearing. We're going to stay on the air for now until this warning is expired, but the coverage is on CBS Utica, just to let folks know that, again, that some housekeeping business here. So this tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock. We're waiting on the National Weather Service in Albany, whose jurisdiction includes Herkimer County. Actually, as I say this, they actually just made the decision here. So let's see what they did. They turned this into a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 3:45. Still mentioning the possibility of rotation with this, but they opted not to go for the tornado warning. So that is some good news here that's indicating that the line, as we've been watching, is weakening somewhat. But again, we don't want to let our guard down here because at least until this warning expires, the risk for a tornado is there. Again, tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock. We'll be on the air for the next 11 minutes unless Binghamton discontinues this warning, which they might. But most likely we'll be on the air for about the next 10 minutes or so. Again, the possibility of tornado is still here. We'll switch over to the velocity scan, and the rotation has been weakening somewhat, and it's still possible that this could produce a tornado. This is Hawkinsville Road. This is Woodgate. These are the areas that we're watching really closely. Again, if you do live in these areas, you want to get into shelter. You want to be in a basement ideally. If you don't have a basement, the lowest floor is fine. Interior rooms, you want to put as many things, walls between you and the outside as possible. And you want to avoid windows. So again, we're on television. We've got a tornado warning in effect for northern Oneida County until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've been watching this line of rotating storms. All of the strongest part of the storm has passed north of the Mohawk Valley. So I know those of you living in the Mohawk Valley are wondering what's going on. Actually, the sun was out for a little while. All of this is happening to the north. The stronger storms happening across northern Oneida County, about ready to cross into Herkimer County here. That's severe thunderstorm warning issued by the Weather Service, National Weather Service, in effect until 3:45. And again, we're going to continue to stay on the air until the warning expires. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning for Herkimer County until 3:45. A rotating storm over Boonville, was over Boonville, and it continues to march to the north and east. We continue to get more information here as the radar continues to scan, and we, as meteorologists, really pay attention to how things are changing, and we look for rotation. So you often see us go to what's called the velocity scan. It's green, it's red, it's ways that we show rotation, and Eric's actually pointing out the spot that we've been watching really closely. Go ahead, Eric.
Yes, and this is the spot we're keeping an eye out for right now, and there is not a lot of bright and red at the moment, but still there is some broad rotation. You can see this starting to hook a little bit. This is what we're keeping an eye out for right now. This is, as you can see as well, not only is this a tornado probable storm, but as well you can see this contrast between green and red right next to each other. This indicates some gusty winds. So not only is this tornado possible storm, as well as a tornado warning in effect, just going towards past Hawkinsville and out towards Woodgate, but still this is a we're still seeing very gusty winds from this storm, northern Oneida County and just up towards the north. And this will be heading towards the Herkimer County line. As you can see right here, Woodgate is currently in this tornado warning, as well as Otter Lake. This latest scan just showed up, as you can see. There's not that much rotation right now on this current one. But if you go to the just the regular scan, we can see that there's still some very heavy rain. Gusty winds is the biggest concern, along with heavy rain still too. Not the biggest concern right now. There is still a tornado warning in effect. Our current outlook right now is still seeing very weak rotation, but still you want to play a tornado warning as if it's real or as it is. There's a confirmed tornado. So if you're in the Woodgate area, as well as just close to the northern part of Oneida County, you want to make sure you're inside, you are in shelter, you are away from windows, you are in a basement, preferably. If not, you're in an interior part of your home that does not have any windows. If you zoom out a little bit, we can actually see exactly how many parts of our area currently, actually zoom out all the way to the overall central New York region, so we can see exactly who is affected by this. As you can see, if you are in Otsego County, or if you're in most of the Mohawk Valley, southern Herkimer County, and southern Oneida County, you are in the clear right now, but we're just keeping an eye on these systems just towards the north. This is mainly for northern Herkimer County, central Herkimer County, as well as northern Oneida County, and this is continuing to move out towards the east right now. Zoom in a little bit, see the tornado warning once again, so you can see exactly what is currently going on. We're looking at the biggest concern, gusty winds and heavier rainfall, but still this small section that just towards the east of Boonville, heading towards, zoom in a little bit so we see exactly which areas are currently affected. There's actually, I think Otter Lake was just towards the upper top corner. Yeah, Otter Lake is included in this tornado warning, as well as Woodgate. And currently right now, we are not seeing too much rotation, but we have to remain on the air until this tornado warning clears, just in case this does continue to develop. But we're still keeping an eye on this area. Once again, Woodgate and Otter Lake is in this tornado warning. This once again is in effect until 3 p.m. And if you are in this area, just a heads up, make sure you find a way to get inside, go in an area that currently does not have any windows, preferably a basement. And then if you do not have a basement, make sure you find a place that is in the center of your house that does not have any windows. And as you can see, this line is still moving just to the east right now at 35 miles per hour, wind gusts close to 60 miles per hour. But the biggest concern right now is currently this small area in northern Oneida County. Woodgate, as well as Otter Lake, is currently in this area that is in a tornado warning. And once again, this is in effect until 3 p.m. And the current conditions right now is just some weak rotation.
All right, Eric, I just wanted to let folks know that we are continuing to follow the latest information, the latest warnings here. Nothing new to pass along, which is good because these situations develop very, very quickly. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Herkimer County. That's in effect until 3:45. It's looking very likely that we will be dropping off of television coverage here at 3 o'clock. I think the Weather Service is going to let this warning stay in effect for the next 5 minutes. But as you can see, things change very quickly. This storm started rotating and it went from thunderstorms to possibly producing a tornado in just a matter of minutes here. So the conditions are still there. We still have to watch this closely. There's still a lot of favorable conditions in the atmosphere where we could see maybe more activity here as these storms move into Herkimer County. But again, at the moment, with that, the biggest concern is what's happening in the northern, northeasternmost corner of Oneida County. That tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock. And this line is not weakening all that much. So we're going to have to continue to watch this here. And just to give you a heads up, this is heading towards Old Forge. It looks like the rotation of this will end up passing south of Old Forge. So this would be heading towards North-South Lake, Atwell. And so we'll continue to follow that. And we're going to continue to keep an eye on this line of storms as it continues to push to the east. So again, watching this area of severe weather potential. In addition to the tornado, we also have to mention that there's going to be some gusty winds with this along that whole line. And so that could still produce some damage. And these severe thunderstorms produce 60 to 65 mile an hour winds. And so it's not just the tornado here that's the issue. But we're on television, and it looks like we'll be off the air shortly for this tornado warning that remains in effect for northeastern Oneida County. Also wanted to mention, we have the ability to see debris in these storms. We were using this with the Westernville tornado. Unfortunately, it's not useful until the tornado is on the ground. So you wouldn't be able to see the tornado right away, but if there was a tornado on the ground, likely it would be producing some debris. At the moment, we don't see anything, but we'll double check this. We'll look at different radar sites after we're off television to see if anything happened. We're going to do our homework here too. We're going to check in with reports. And if you do have anything to pass along, we really do appreciate any information that you can give us. You can send us an email to weather@wktv.com. And we are going to continue to have live updates, of course, at 5 o'clock here with the latest. And we're going to toss things over to Eric with some of the latest.
Yeah, so right now, just if you're joining in for the last couple of minutes for this cut, and you can see right here, if you're in the Oneida County area as well as southern Herkimer County as well as southern Oneida County, you are currently in the clear right now. Actually, zoom in, there's actually another warning that's just moving towards the south right now. I want to keep an eye on this line right here that could be developing as it moves out towards the east. But the current threat right now is just in the northern part of Oneida County as well as the central and northern part of Herkimer County. And this right here, almost all of northern and central Herkimer County is in a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. The biggest concern with this is gusty winds upwards of 60 miles per hour as well as brief heavy rainfall from this line of storms. And as you can see over here, tornado possible, there is a tornado warning in effect. This is moving out towards the Otter Lake as well as the just out towards just south of the Old Forge region heading towards Herkimer County. Now this is likely to, the tornado warning is likely to expire at 3 p.m., but we'll provide more updates and we'll go live on Facebook as well as on air if more tornado warnings do develop. Bill?
Okay, so we're going to be on until 3 o'clock here. Just as we wrap things up, I just want to let folks know that we will be providing coverage on this on the Live at 5 news hour. So what we're going to do as we get off the air is we're going to do some investigating to see what damage happened, and if this thing did drop a tornado, we're going to try and figure this out and give you the latest information tonight at 5 and 6. So we are going to be heading off the air shortly. If we do get any other tornado warnings or any additional information, we of course will break back into programming as necessary. As Eric mentioned, there's more activity to the west, so we're going to continue to follow this as we head throughout the afternoon. But again, you can join us to know the latest on all of this tonight at 5 and 6 p.m.